the government of Cameroon, through Minister Atanga Nji, sent out another serious warning against anybody trying to destabilize the upcoming presidential election or destabilize Cameroon or trying to manipulate Cameroonians. So he was speaking directly to Professor Maurice Kamto, because all the example that he quote were referring to Professor Maurice Kamto, but he did not call his name. So he was speaking today in March 4th, 2025 in Yaounde at the a conference hall of his ministry, the Ministry of Territorial Administration. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that he mentioned. One of them is he talked about the upcoming presidential election, and he was quoting example from what President Paul Biya talked about at the end of 2024 and during the Youth Week. He issued a strong warning against misinformation, political manipulation, and attempt to destabilize the nation. That is who the first place Mr. Atanga Nji started. He started. The minister strongly condemned the actions of a political leader who, despite boycotting the 2020 legislative and municipal election, has been inciting disorder and instability in an effort to enforce his candidacy in the 2025 presidential election. This is the first place where I hold on that he was talking about to Professor Maurice Kamto, though he did not call his name, because Professor Maurice Kamto was the one who boycotted the 2020 legislative and municipal election and said none of his candidate, a militant, will stand for a parliamentary or a council election. And this is where the government trapped him. And now Mr. Atanga Nji said he is trying to force himself into the presidential election to be a candidate. He continued by saying that this individual, along with his supporter, has allegedly created an illegal political movement to challenge the electoral process. He called the movement of Professor Maurice Kamto and Jean-Michel Ninche, that is APC, an illegal movement. And maybe he is also calling a Cameroon original movement as, because he talked about this individual together with his supporter, meaning the supporter of a Cameroon Renaissance movement. They form an illegal movement. So the party is illegal. So that is where we are coming in. And in which party then would Maurice Kamto run under? That is the question we are asking. And Maurice Kamto said he must be. If not, peace will not be in Cameroon. Minister Atanga Nji reminded the public of the government's response during the 2020 election, where individuals involved in violence, vandalism, and hate speech were held accountable. He reminded them. So it is a strong warning coming out that many were held accountable. And then he went ahead and said President Paul Biya granted a clemency to many of them, including Maurice Kamto, and they were free, but some died in prison, and some are still in prison up to date. So if you try, that is what Maurice Atanga Nji is saying, if you try to support anybody who is sending us misinformation or trying to destabilize Cameroon, you will be held accountable by the government, that they are fully prepared. The minister also noted that this political figure, who had previously declared in both French and English that he would not participate in the 2025 elections, is making inflammatory remark. These include threatening coils if the election does not go in his favor, accusing the electoral body, ELECAM, the security services, of attempting to register foreigners, and calling for a popular uprising if his demands are not met. Who was he talking to? Professor Maurice Kamto, because Maurice Kamto is the one who came out recently with this particular statement, accusing Elekam, the National General Delegation of National Security, and the CPTM for registering foreigners. Minister Atanga Nji emphasized that any attempt to incite disorder, spread misinformation, or manipulate public opinion will be met with the full force of the law. He noted that misinformation, particularly in the digital age, can quickly spread a falsehood, and the government would not tolerate any such action. He reaffirmed his 2018 statement that individuals who preach hate speech, disorder, tribalism, and challenge state authority will face severe consequences. This time, he warned their stay in the land of regret will be long and unavoidable. Meaning, if Maurice Kamto try anything, he will be arrested and kept somewhere that he will stay there for a very long time, and the government will not pardon him. President Paul Biya will not pardon him. That is what Atanga Nji is saying here and giving this strong warning to Professor Maurice Kamto. The minister urged, that is Atanga Nji, urged politicians to respect the electoral process and allowed Elekam to carry out its duty without interference. He reiterated that those who do not meet the necessary requirement to contest the 2025 election will have to wait until 2032, like me. I'm waiting for 2032, and that the election should not be treated as a matter of life and death. He concluded that no individual or group has the right to hold the nation's hostage, and the government is committed to ensuring that the elections proceeds smoothly and in accordance with the law. This is Atanga Nji giving serious warning, particularly to Professor Maurice Kamto. If you fail to, if you are not eligible for the 2025 presidential election, you should wait for 2030. This is the message Mr. Atanga Nji sent to. Finally, this is the last statement he makes. He says, Mr. Atanga Nji reassured that the 2025 presidential election will be concluded in peace and order, with the result being respected. He emphasized that any violation of the law will be met with firm action, and individuals making reckless a call for unrest will be held accountable. He ended by declaring the sky would not fall in 2025. The will of the people will be respected. This is Mr. Atanga Nji. On it again, I keep on telling you people that the government is fully prepared. The government of Cameroon, the best way, the best thing that they love so much is violence. When you come with them to them like this, they will defeat you. But if you use your brain, you will defeat them. And that is why I call on Maurice Kamto that he already committed a mistake. That was in 2020. So he should think twice before standing. If there is a way he can mobilize all Cameroonians to stand on one day, that is the best way to do. But if he cannot, he should not try. Because when he will do it, only the innocent ones will perish in prison, as it was in 2020. So I am begging that we should use our brain. I saw it, and that is why I refused that I would not go in for 2025 presidential election. I should better prepare myself for 2032. I have the vision already written. I have the proposal already written. Everything put together. But I said, no, I'm not going to go in again. I should wait for 2032. Because financially, I will not be able to raise the money that Elekam is asking. But by 2032, I believe by the grace of God, everything will be ready. And if Kamto wish, he should join me. We will sit and wait.